instruction, golf news, equipment, travel, interviews, course profiles, and more. Your weekly fix of all things golf is about to begin. It's the Flagstick Podcast with your hosts, Jeff Potter and Scott McLeod. All right, and welcome to the Flagstick Podcast, presented by Srixon Golf Canada. Srixon golf balls, I've said this numerous times. I've played the Srixon golf ball for a number of years. Love it. I love lots of golf balls, but the Srixon one has a soft spot in my heart because I really do like playing the ball. Whether you're looking for a premium urethane option in the Z-Star series, a quality budget option in the soft feel, or somewhere in between with the Q-Star Tour, Srixon is bound to present an option that works for your game. For more information, visit srixon.ca. Scott, welcome. Welcome, hey, Scott McLeod, once again. It's good. We got two in a row. Two in a row. Two in a row. What?
We're hot. We're hot.
Yeah, we're on a, was that a heater?
I guess.
Yeah, a heater?
Yeah, we'll call it that for sure. So yeah, it's only been a short number of days, not a month between recording, which is nice.
I'm super excited because we're into the holiday season right now. It's raining outside and it's 4 degrees. I mean,
which is good because I got to drive to Toronto tomorrow, so I don't need to be driving in the snow or anything.
I'll give you props on that. I'm losing my mind. I got boards up outside. I am a golf. This is a golf podcast, but those that know realize I am a hockey guy too. I got a rink built outside. I got a tarp ready to go in it, and it's 4 degrees out. I ain't putting the tarp in this thing right now.
Chip in it.
Oh my gosh!
If it stays this way all winter, I'm a happy boy. I'm anti-winter.
I can't be happy with winter being this. I can be look at. I'm all for mild and a little bit of snow. Not a big fan of 40 below and stuff. I find that annoying. I don't want 40 centimeters of snow.
There are arenas with ice inside built. See?
They cost me money. This one doesn't cost any money. This one I can go out the garage to.
Fair enough.
It's not just about that. It's we're in Canada. It's Ottawa. It's the winter. We're supposed to have some snow. Christmas is coming. The holiday season is upon us, and we have no snow. How is Santa supposed to land his sled on the rooftops?
That make me a Grinch?
It's like putting wheels on him.
Oh, all right.
I don't get it.
Let's get to the show.
All right.
That's what everybody's here for.
So what have you done? What have you done between now and the last show, Scott? Like, what's
nothing
been going on. Like,
nothing.
We know we're doing stuff, but I mean,
I saw you Saturday night.
I know, exciting. We're going to talk about that in like 2 seconds. We're going to talk. Well, not 2 seconds, but we're going to talk about that in just a minute because that was an awesome night. Why don't we just get at it here? The show is, as we get into the holiday season, we're going to be doing some cool little holiday stuff, and this show is no exception. We got something really interesting planned for the back nine this week.
Fun.
I'll see how I handle it. I'm still not sure how I'm going to be able to handle it, but we'll see. Hopefully, you handle it better than I do because you might have to carry the back nine. Which is unlike when you and I partner up for a round of golf and how I carry you. No. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
All right. We do have a great show lined up this week. Some awesome news updates and things in the front nine. Golf tip with Kevin and Jake Haime in the back nine. Holiday gift options. We're going to start getting into that more and more as we go. There's only a couple weeks left before
2.5 weeks or so.
So we want to get into a few little holiday gift ideas and things like that. Just talk a little bit about gift giving this time of year. In Product Watch, a cool new stylish shoe option by a well-known manufacturer. We'll call it that. We'll leave it at that. Leave you hanging a little bit. But let's get right at it. Let's get into the front nine. Presented by Metcalf Golf Club, a natural setting, a pleasant challenge with the holidays right around the corner. Now's the time to get the golfer on your list, something they would love. It's a perfect time for that. Give the gifts to golf. Visit metcalfgolf.com to shop now. All right, Scott, let's dive into the front nine. We recently had the pleasure of attending the grand opening, official grand opening of Celtic Golf Center in Kemptville, Ontario.
We sure did.
An indoor golf facility that features five.
Yeah.
Five.
You lost count while you're there or what?
What's that?
Did you lose count while you're there?
Yeah, well, no, it was busy.
It was busy.
Five
It was
golf
turnout.
simulators, TrackMan simulators,
Yep.
featuring well over 200 different
Mm-hmm.
golf courses, different games and things that we play. We'll talk about that in just a second. But
Sure.
Andy McWilliams, who's a very good friend of ours, he's also Golf Sim Gurus, who's a sponsor of this podcast, has been since day one. I had the pleasure of working on the marketing for Celtic Golf Center, designing things for him and helping with the promotion. Really nice to see. He had a soft opening, got the doors open, but really nice to see the grand opening take place. Lots of people were out there. Lots of people from the Equinil Golf Club were out there because it is in their neck of the woods.
Rito
Glen too, yeah. Great facility. He did an awesome job with the way, just even the way things are positioned. One of the things with indoor golf facilities that sometimes happens is the simulators and the netting and everything is all sort of lined up side by side. So everybody sees everybody else. The one cool thing about what I saw there was everything's staggered. And the walls are positioned in such a way that if I'm standing in the tee deck or sitting in my bay with my buddies hitting golf balls, and I look over, I can see a little bit of another group, like one group maybe, but I can't really see them hitting. And that's kind of a cool thing because it's putting you inside of a closed space.
Right, exactly. So it's separated, but yet it's open, right?
Yeah, it's an open concept. There's one room that has a door on it, and that's the hitting or the teaching area, which does have a closed-in area with a little bit more seating, and but that's for teaching. The other areas, or the other four simulators, are wide open concepts, and just the way everything's positioned, you have a sense of privacy without having closed doors. And that, to me, for an indoor facility, especially with sims, that's an awesome, because you feel secluded with your group, but you don't feel claustrophobic being inside a room, and you can swing freely. You just feel like you're out in the open a little bit more. And I thought that was cool. Nice bar in there.
The wee dap.
Yes, the wee tap. And
dap.
Dap. Did you have the wee dap? Did you have some haggis nachos?
I think I may have skipped past those.
I've had
enough haggis in my life.
I couldn't bring myself. I wanted to, but there was chicken ones there too, and
they were going fast. They were going fast. They seem to be popular with everyone, but
I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I don't know. I'm sorry, Andy. I couldn't do it.
Just spiced meat.
But they had a neat little feature, a little closest to the pin competition going on as well, to raise some money for the Ottawa Stray Cat. And I think they raised a little over $300.
Nice.
Which is awesome. We're not trying to raise 30 grand here or anything like that. It was just a small little event, raise a little bit of money and some awareness, and it was neat to see. So congratulations, Andy, on getting the doors open. Yep. Best of luck and success. I'm heavily involved in that with his website and his marketing, so it's not like oh great, you're open and then now I'm gone. Andy and I'll be chatting on a regular basis about a bunch of stuff. So and he also has Celtic Golf Tours that he's working on right now, and I'm just starting to build a website for that. So gosh, Andy, slow down, man. Slow down.
Busy guy. Yeah,
he is indeed.
He did some nice trips there last year, and planning to do a few more. So congrats to Andy and to Cindy, his wife, as well.
Yes. Yeah, she was bouncing around there, getting with the jar there, getting people to participate. Yeah. It was kind of fun to watch. She had the t-shirt on there. Okay. Let's talk about the NGCOA. The NGCOA Canada has named a new president and their board of directors at the recent NGCOA conference in Vancouver. Exciting for this area is that Rob Howell will serve as a director for the next couple of years on the NGCOA board, which is a new thing. Obviously, Rob is Metcalf's a good client of ours. Rob's a good friend, known him for years. Very active. Within the golf community outside of just his home course, and now that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, they've got a nice board there. Ryan Garrett from PEI's Finest also on that
Yeah.
board. And the one thing that we usually see with that board is we do see a lot of activity from members from the chapter in Eastern Ontario. So we usually have some involvement there on that board, whether it's the president, vice president, or within the directors. And obviously, Rob will do a great job in there representing them. And from all accounts, the conference was quite successful. I haven't talked to, but just talked to a couple of people that were up for that. Unfortunately, it was right when all that snow was coming down in Vancouver. I don't think anybody expected that from a weather perspective, but I think it was like a Beatles themed event.
It
But
was because I saw some
yeah,
photos of
the gang from the
posted from,
Canadian.
yes, the gang from
Yeah,
the Canadian walking, doing the whole Beatles pose, walking
yeah,
across the walkway,
yeah,
the iconic image. Um, that was kind of cool. So that would have
yeah.
been an interesting conference to be at. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
and I think, I mean, it's a conference that I think it's always interesting because it's a chance for all those golf course operators to get together and sort of discuss the everything that's happening as far as the business of the game. And they have a number of speakers that come there, and they're all at a certain point right now. I ran into a GM on Saturday, I believe, at the grocery store, and we were having a good talk about the business and how it's sort of changing, and what we've talked about now being later on, as far as post the heavy pandemic years of
Hmm.
obviously pandemic, COVID's still around, but things are changing. They're starting to see things, as we've talked about, soften up a little bit, and activity levels are changing, so they're kind of seeing where they're at, assessing it, and see how they're going forward. So a lot of decisions to be made there by a lot of golf courses of what they're going to look like going forward. And the natural evolution as for facilities, as we mentioned, with Andy doing an indoor facility, we're also seeing more golf courses offering more services, including
Hmm.
indoor simulators and so forth. So again, it's just a natural evolution as far as golf courses are concerned. So a lot of discussion there about ideas and things that they can do to be better, to service a clientele, to find new revenue streams, especially if they're busier, if they're busier at different times. There's a lot of factors that's there. So yeah, neat for them to get together, and like I said, it'll be interesting to talk to a few more people that participated and maybe hear some of the discussions that were happening out there in Vancouver.
Yeah, I'm curious. I am curious to see. Usually, Lee Tamburano from the
Mhm.
Canadian, for those that don't know, we usually have a chance when he gets back from the conference to sit down and have some lunch, and chat about what has gone on or what was discussed out there at the conference. So I'll in the coming weeks. It's usually we usually do get together before Christmas. So in the coming weeks, I'll have a chance to talk to him and bring
Yeah,
some of that feedback back to our podcast. So we talk a little bit of golf business
sure.
on the show here. Um, some other association news, obviously, kind of a big one. Golf Ontario has made the announcement that Mike Kelly will be
Hmm.
leaving the association March 2023 and heading to California.
Yeah, the CEO, Mike's obviously worked with the association, PGA of Canada member, from the time that he was Mr. Knickers, involved in the golf school program, worked his way up. Spent a lot of time with Mike over the years, and certainly call him a friend, and talking about lots of different ideas. And when I was on the board in Kingston, talking a lot about the regional plans and so forth. With they've expanded now, and they're doing a lot of different things on a regional level. And yeah, he's basically found a role in the Southern California Golf Association. So he's going to go and be the executive director there. And, they've got some holes to fill at Golf
Mm-hmm.
Ontario. Recently, they're one of their main people involved with their marketing and branding, Peter McKellar. He is leaving and heading down. He's going to South Carolina.
South
So I
Carolina,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, and then they have a couple other roles that are open right now as well. So yeah, so it's a time of transition for them. they're certainly making an effort right now to find some replacements for these people, but they've definitely been formative. They still have a strong team there of Kyle McFarland and Mallory Damon and Nick Taylor, who joined them, in the marketing role. They've certainly got some good pieces there, and I'm sure they'll find some other ones as well. But we wish all the best to Mike and also to Pete on their new ventures down in the United States.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see what Golf Ontario does as far as replacing Mike. Tough shoes to fill, but I think they've got some. I think they've got a couple people maybe internally that they could probably take a look at. I mean, we're all the speculation, and I'm sure that there's a hunt, and they probably have a short list of people that they're interested on. I know I didn't get the call, but
yet.
If I'm not getting the call. I'm not getting the call. Anyway,
yes, onward.
Onward and upward. Curtis Barkley, once again, love talking about Curtis on the show here, because and it seems like it's a regular occurrence, but he keeps doing extraordinary things that warrant getting the attention that he's getting.
Of course. And we were talking about him last week when he was in the middle of playing this tournament. He had just started playing this tournament, but obviously we now have the kind of the full results, and played very well down in Australia once again.
Yes.
He had lost in a playoff at the Australian All Abilities Championship in 2019. We made mention of that. Had a terrific second round, 6 birdie second round here to jump up in the lead after 36 holes at the Victoria Golf Club, the storied Victoria Golf Club.
Yes, very much so.
You have to remember as well, this is happening the same time concurrently as the Australian Open. Whether it's Adam Scott or Cam Smith or Hannah Green, or I mean, all these players are playing there at the same time. Windy final day, got derailed a little bit, and then he got overtaken by world number 1 Kip Probert. Curtis had the lead after 36 holes, and Kip slipped past him. As you said, he's number 1 for a reason, but big victory for Curtis, finishing second there on that very tough and challenging golf course. So great run of play with him, second with the G4D tour finale in Dubai. 2 weeks later, finished second in the Australian All Abilities Championship. So awesome stuff, Curtis, and certainly enjoyed following it and interacting with him all week long, because we were messaging back and forth on social media the whole time. So it was good to see.
I have a question for you, and I'm not putting you on the spot here, but
do if you like.
With his position last week, and then finishing second in Australia. Where does that rank him now? Because his ranking was fairly high to begin with, but these are a couple of big events, and I would think that they have significant. Significant
new rankings are actually out today, so I'll double check that, because he was 7th, I believe, 7th in the world going into this. So I'll double check that and see where he ended up.
Yeah, because you'd think that over the last 2 weeks that's got to bump him up.
Well, he was 7th after Dubai, which was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So, and then the second here. So I'll have a look, and we'll just move on to the next piece, and I'll find it here.
Yeah, for sure.
As we're talking.
Sure. Okay, so we have also some Canadians that are chasing PGA champions
status,
because it's and we should know that the PGA Tour is hard enough to get on.
Yeah.
And we talk about, like, literally, you think about trying to get a career as a PGA Tour professional and what it takes to get there and all the qualifying and stuff. But realistically, even though there is a lot more golf that has to be played in order to get your PGA Tour card, because you've got to go through the Corn Ferry, and to get to the PGA Tour. It's not like you can, like it used to be, where you could hit lightning in a bottle for a bunch of rounds.
That's going to be changing for next year. Finally, they're gonna now award some cards for next year. But you're right, there's levels, especially in this Q school, just to get to the Corn Ferry Tour, then to work your way up. So you're right,
exactly. So it's not a direct thing necessarily, but the Champions Tour,
oh my,
it's literally next to impossible.
It is
to get a spot, because from year to year there's guys coming from the PGA Tour that the clock turns, the calendar turns, the age goes up, and all of a sudden, Tiger Woods is eligible for the Champions Tour, and you think he's not already got, he's not going to. I'm pretty sure that he's one that probably won't play the Champions Tour, but
right.
But there's guys like that, like Phil Mickelson. There's always another guy turning the calendar and taking a spot. So there's less spots available to get on the Champions Tour. So to even be, one of to be a Canadian and being given that opportunity, being put in a position to do that's extraordinary.
Yeah, well, the difficulty is that they're short fields as it is, and on top of that, as one person,
cuts.
Yeah, and what one person described to me years ago is that they don't want no name players because they're trying to sell the pro-ams and stuff like that, so they want the better players, and obviously because of that, most of the exemptions are given to the players who have played on the PGA Tour and have earned certain status. So, say for an example, Mike Weir, because he's a multi-time winner or whatever, he's solid as far as being on there. So when it comes to the Q school, they might have 900 some odd people apply. They have 3 different qualifying sites, and that gets to the final site where they have 100 players or whatever playing off. I think it was less than that. I think it was 70 that are in the finals kind of this week. There's only 5 fully exempt cards available, and then they have 25 more spots for associate memberships, which associate only lets you
get you to Monday qualifiers,
in
right?
the Monday qualifiers.
Yeah.
So the fact that this week, there's 3 Canadians in there, Alan McLean, Dennis Hendershot, and Michael Bruchette. They made their way through the qualifying process, the first stage, got their way in there. And, although, obviously this podcast will come out and the results will be later on, Alan McLean is tied for second after the first round. Dennis Hendershot is under par. Unfortunately, Michael Bruchet is close to the bottom. But yeah, Al McLean's in contention. And, the fact that, they can be even close to getting one of those 5 spots, is pretty remarkable, because if you look at this leaderboard, I mean, it's just full of players with PGA Tour experience and DP World Tour experience. So, good luck to them.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Now, one of the things that always tends to happen this time of year, obviously, as the season ends, we go into what, obviously what we call the off season. For us, it's not much of one, but it is an off season. It's an off season for the industry, especially where golf courses are resetting their strategies for the next year and whatnot, but also putting in place the necessary staff to kickstart whatever is going to happen during the off season, so that when March comes around, they can open the doors and get going. Now, there is a lot of facilities in Eastern Ontario that are still looking for pro staff, and the top of that list is the Meadows. Is still in search of a director of golf.
Yep.
With Daryl Buchanan retiring. Which, once again, congratulations, Daryl. And Daryl, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I know you called me, left a message for me to call you back, and I haven't done that yet. It is on the list to do. So the call is coming. I haven't forgotten about you. I'm not ignoring you.
Probably wants to invite you to go fishing sometime.
I'd love to go fishing. That's one guy. I'm not a fisherman by any means. I did have fished in my day, but I would love to go fishing with Bucky. I think that would be like fun. Awesome. We'll probably learn a ton too. But there's some other positions that are available too, Scott, right?
Yeah, we've got a number of courses that are on the hunt for assistants or associates, in some cases teaching professionals as well. So, if we look at Eastern Ontario, for an example, the Marsh is looking for an assistant associate. Kevin Haime Golf Center is looking for a full-time or part-time teaching professional. Equinell, Brockville, Greensmere, Timber Ridge, Ottawa Hunt are all seeking associate or assistant professionals, and Garrison as well. I don't think I have that on there, but I know Dale's on the hunt as well. So you know what? Good luck. A lot of them are having a hard time getting applications. We'll see a lot of movement in the next little while. We'll see some changeover between golf courses, and we're seeing a few new people come into the association as well, which helps. But certainly all those places are on the hunt. So if you're listening and you're a PGA member, check the PGA of Canada website, and those listings and postings are on there, and get your name in if you're interested in something.
Now, well-known.
By the way, before we get to something here, Curtis, 5th in the world. He moved up to 5th in the world.
Okay. That's just
Yeah,
That's insane.
that's cool.
That's awesome.
Kid from Chesterville, Ontario, 5th in the world.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Good for him.
It is. It is very good. He's worked so hard at it too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Curtis.
Yep.
Number one. You're going to number one, buddy. Keep
now
going.
that he's off the road, we have to get him on here.
Yes, and he would be awesome to have on here.
Yeah. I've had him on a podcast before, and he's great.
So yeah, we'll definitely get Curtis on here. So a well-known, I say well-known because he is well-known. Dan McNeely is joining the Rita View Golf Club as an associate pro. So Dan, he was at Smith Falls. He was doing some
Titleist for a while.
Demo work for Titleist, like doing demo days and fittings and stuff like that. He's jumping back into golf club life at Rita View. So congratulations, Dan, on that, and look forward to seeing you out at Rita View.
Dave McBain, Roger Beal out there. Roger, who I should mention, is tied for 8th after the first round of the Canadian Head Pro Championship, which is taking place down in Arizona this week. So
sometimes I forget how good a golfer Roger is. You know that? He's like, because he really doesn't locally, he's not out there as much. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just But he was a very accomplished golfer for a long time.
He won the Canadian Head Pro Championship in 2011. Obviously, played in the World Cup for his native Barbados, where he's from as well, or whatever. But there's a number of pros from the region that are down there competing in Arizona this week. Yeah, as you mentioned, though, the tough part is for a lot of these people working as head pros and so forth, they're not necessarily they don't necessarily have time always to play and compete in the zone events. But this time of year, being the fact that they've put this championship back in Arizona in sort of the off season, it's allowed some of those people to go down there and compete. Marc-Andre Payette's down there, Gord Percy's down there, Mark Foucault, some of our friends that have moved on to kind of other zones. Chris Learmoth is down there playing, Scott Johnson. So it's nice for those guys who maybe didn't get a chance to compete during the year down there playing. Lee Curry's down there as well.
Nice. Okay, and David McBain is joining the Marshes in a full-time teaching capacity. So that's good for the Marshes. Get some teachers out there.
Yeah, back to where he was before, where he used to work. So
cool.
Good for him.
Okay, one last thing before we have to take a break. The Shaw Charity Classic announced a significant fundraising mark recently, right? I mean, this is huge, big time numbers.
Yeah. You know what? This PGA Tour Champions event that's been held in Calgary over the last 10 years, they've raised over $93 million, and I think it's a story that gets missed a lot, and I think it gets missed a lot in Canadian media just because it is in Calgary, and unfortunately, a lot of our golf media is based in Toronto and Ontario and so forth. But they just announced that they raised a record amount for a single season. This past year during their tournament, they raised $17,489,219, which will go to 260 youth and children charities across Alberta through their Shaw Birdies for Kids program presented by Alta Link. So, I mean, that's incredible for an event.
Wow.
The effort that they make for that single tournament. So people, when you're thinking about these, tour events and what they're doing, and, a lot of people might be thinking about it in context to, other tours around the world or whatever, look at what this does for the community. That's one of the biggest things that these events are all about. A lot of people are focused on low scores and who wins the tournament. You know who won the tournament here? The kids and the people of Alberta that this money was raised for. So kudos to the Shaw Charity Classic for making that happen.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I know you didn't mention specifically anything current in the world of golf, but it is good to note that this is the difference. Like this is the difference between players playing for ridiculous amounts of money. And the balance between that and what happens and what these events really are all about. Like this is not just
It's not to say that other tour is not giving money to the community, because
No.
they are. They announce donations and so forth, but it's not necessarily their primary focus, which is really, what's happening here for this tour.
Well, then that's the thing. And when you start allocating more dollars towards the participants in the events and guaranteed money and all that kind of stuff, then you're taking domestically, you're taking away from this kind of thing.
Right.
And this is what you see even in other sports. You see these exorbitant amounts of money that these players make playing hockey or playing basketball. But what you don't necessarily see on a daily basis is that most of these sports teams have charitable organizations that are set up that run concurrent, like alongside of these franchises. And those people are out in the community doing things to raise money for local charities and donate money to local charities. And the players and participants are involved in that stuff as well. So there's a lot of things that you don't necessarily see. That's not to say that other organizations like we talked about are not donating money, but there's a little difference. I don't see necessarily a lot of these former PGA Tour players out maybe working the communities over in Dubai and other venues trying to raise money for charity.
Yeah, and one of the things that happens for a lot of these sports, and I was having a discussion actually the other night with somebody who works for MLSE, and they give to certain organizations, and let's say it's part of their basketball organization, and they will give to a lot of different charities and support a lot of things. They don't necessarily toot their horn about that, because they also are conscious about the fact that they don't want to look like they're just doing it for that opportunity for goodwill marketing. Yes, they'll make mention sometimes, but they don't always mention all the things that they're doing. And so big credit for them for a lot of things that they are doing to support things in the community. And I can say there's groups out there that are supporting organizations that couldn't exist if they didn't have these larger entities really supporting them, for sure.
Exactly. All right. Well, that's a great spot to stop and take a little commercial break, pay some bills. When we come back, we're going to head into the lesson tee. We're going to do some holiday gift guide chatter. We're going to take a look at a new stylish shoe, and then we're going to shut her down for another week.
All right.
So stay with us. We'll be right back.
With Z-Star Series Divide, Hideki sees it all. See? There's the spin, and boom, that's the line. Introducing the two-tone Z-Star Series Divide, only from Strixon.
All right, welcome back to the Flagstick Podcast. I am your host, or one of your hosts, Jeff Bonner. With me is, as always, is Scott McLeod, and we have made it through another front nine. And now we're going to head out to the lesson tee, as we do each and every episode, and talk to Kevin and Jake Haime. The lesson tee is brought to you, of course, by the Kevin Haime Golf School. It's always the right time to play better, whether you need private lessons, a better short game, some putting help, or even a custom club fitting. Visit kevinhaime.com, and remember that better golf is a lot more fun. This week on the lesson tee, Kevin and Jake are going to talk about how better leg work can most certainly lead to better shots. So let's take a look and a listen and see what they got to say.
Okay, golfers, we've got our electric tape back out, and today I'm actually putting it on Jake. We're going to do a little tip on leg action and where you want your knees to move as you swing. Jake, what would you say the biggest problem is we encounter on the lesson tee, generally speaking?
I think too much knee movement and too much lateral or forward knee movement.
Love it. So your knees have to react to the rotation and the swinging of the arms. We're turning the chest, right, as you work back there a little bit. Arms swing up. We're isolating on the body for today. But I want you to watch the way these knees move. So the lead knee is actually pulled in and around. What doesn't it do, Jake? Show us what we see all the time with that lead knee and how it moves.
Yeah, the most important thing with the lead knee is we don't want that knee moving forward onto your toes, which does a couple of things. It really messes with the tilts in your body, makes it difficult to turn properly.
Puts the weight on your toes here too.
Absolutely.
Right? You'll fall forward. So you need to understand that knee has the appearance of working forward as we're rotating back, but We don't want the knee to travel, in this case, towards the camera, right? And I think a lot of people mistake that. They kind of pick their foot up and move their knee forward, and that's really bad leg action, right?
Agreed.
Okay, so let me jump over here. What about the back knee? Because we don't want it to move too much. It resists against the turn of the upper body. We need the weight on the inside of that leg and foot so we can move into our downswing. Do we keep it dead still? What do we do with that knee?
No, I think resist is a good word. If you restrict your movement by locking it and not moving it at all, it becomes very difficult to turn into your hip properly and create a dynamic wind. However, when I do turn, because my shoulders are turning my hips and that's what turns my knee is just rotating in space slightly more than it's moving, again, laterally or forward.
Yeah, I really like that. Everyone can see we've got this white tape. Go back to the start. So the knee maintains its integrity. It doesn't slide laterally, but it does rotate. Don't try to lock that knee down too much because that will avoid the load and prevent you from really swinging with power. So when we move, first of all, the knees don't really initiate. They're following as the upper body is leading the coil. The front knee has to rotate towards us. There's an appearance of it working out, but it's not moving forward towards the toe. And then this back leg, we need to keep the weight on the inside of that back foot, but allow the knee to move. If you do this in front of a mirror, just like Jake's doing, you'll really get a great impression on what leg action should be in golf and what it should feel like. Try it at home, and I think it'll lead to better golf and more powerful coiling when you're actually hitting golf balls.
Well, as always, not the PGA Tour pro, teaching pro here. So I do get it, how important leg work is, but
for sure.
I think you got a little bit of a better understanding of what that whole, what that tip, lesson T tip is all about.
Yeah, one of the biggest things for people when they're working on stuff and they're looking at their game is just intention more than anything, is knowing and understanding what they're trying to accomplish rather than just let's fix it. So this is a good dive in here and talking about leg work and seeing how the legs function during the golf swing. And it's interesting that they make use of the tape just to show points and see how the movement of the knees work, obviously in relationship to the pelvis in the swing. So a good look there, something for people definitely to consider, because half the time with the golf club in our hand, we're only worried about how our hands and arms are swinging.
Yeah.
And we forget that our knees and our lower body provides a foundation for our golf swing.
Well, I think too, one of the things we can agree on right now, because we're into the off season and we're hitting balls indoors, these are the kinds of instruction that you can use during the off season. You don't have to be outside on a driving range, seeing ball flight and all that kind of stuff. These are the kinds of things that you can work on when you can't be outside hitting golf balls, especially with simulators now. You can't see the natural ball flight, but you get a pretty good indication of what your ball is doing in simulators.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily need to see that feedback for the ball flight. That you're right. I mean, one of the things to try to work on with a lot of people, even if I'm working on instruction, I have a series of soft balls where people are just hitting the soft balls, so they're not focused on the result, because what we're trying to do and accomplish is what's the movement with their body. So great time of year to work on the big pieces, things that you maybe wouldn't work on during the season, because you don't want people kind of thinking about that as they're playing. They're in a competitive or a playing cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
They're usually not going to take the time to just work on something for a couple of weeks and not go to the golf course. So they put the results into, hey, where did the golf ball go, rather than, hey, did I accomplish what I needed to do here? So you're right, work on those big pieces, able to do that at home. You don't necessarily always need a simulator too. You could be just working in your living room and seeing how your body is moving. If you worked with your coach, they've sort of designated kind of what you need to do. You can work on those moves just about anywhere, no matter what your spouse thinks, because they think you're crazy when you're in your kitchen making golf swings, with no golf club and no golf ball. But hey, that's what golfers do.
There you go. All right. Great. Thanks, Kevin and Jake, for that. Let's jump into the back nine, presented as it always is by Golf Sim Gurus. A great time now to get a simulator. If you want to get a simulator, now is a good time to do that. Simulators built to your specifications, your budget, Visit golfsimgurus.ca for more information. Again, I know Andy's busy, so you might want to make that call and get
ASAP.
something started if you want to even maybe get one for next fall.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Scott, back 9.
Some fun.
I don't know.
You're nervous.
I
about this.
super. I don't know what to do with this one. I really don't. It's like I saw it and I'm like, yeah, this is so fun and goofy. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm gonna love this. And I started to think about it, and I literally was stressing out. I don't know what to do. Like I want to be critical.
I take the leads on. It's a gift.
I know, but the gift. I'm the funny gift guy. Like, I swear to God, I am the guy that tries to come up with the gift that is the most sarcastic, funny thing that I can give somebody. I can always buy somebody a laptop, but if I can give somebody something
for a dig, let's give them the premise. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do.
All right,
we're gonna. We got a list of pro golfers, and we're each gonna say what we would give them as a holiday gift. And why. So this is our opportunity. No budget, no limits. It's like, let's think of that player. What do we think that would be appropriate and kind to give them? You can obviously take it whatever direction that you want, but we'll start with the big cat. We'll start with Tiger Woods. He's a player. This is a person that can buy anything they want, but
probably already has everything.
Right. But that's not really the point. The point is that, you're given the opportunity. Tiger's your buddy. What do you give him? Do you want me to go first, or do you want to?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I figure, given, he's got obviously these injuries going on. He's got some plantar fasciitis going on. I think Tiger's obviously got access to everything, but I can just see Tiger chilling at his mansion and, walking out to the pool, going back to the golf area, just hitting balls. And you know what? He might as well be comfortable and also make sure that, his feet are sort of semi-protected. So I'm just going to give him a pair of Birkenstock sandals, not some, flat slides or whatever. Just some Berkeys for Tiger, and that could make for a funny photo too. I'm sure if some person spying into his backyard, here's Tiger in his Berkeys. So yeah, where are you going from there? Yeah, you look lost.
Oh my God! And the thing is, I literally rack my brain thinking of different ideas that I could do, and I'm like, what the heck am I gonna come up with? I mean, I mean, along the lines of his feet, I wanted to give him a container of tennis balls.
There you go. Exactly. He can roll his feet and his
well, arches. That's the thing, but I don't want to poke fun at the guy's plantar fasciitis, because I know I've had it. Fun. I know it's painful as hell.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I used, get him a can of Dunlops, and just wake up in the morning and roll your foot around on those Dunlops. But you know what? Okay. Here's
now you've got an
gift.
idea.
The gift for everybody. I'm gonna get Tiger Woods one of those gifts of those meat subscriptions.
Okay.
I'm gonna give him one of those meat where you get like a different cut of beef or meat delivered right to your door monthly, like one of those monthly meat subscriptions. The Tiger looks like the kind of guy who can appreciate putting something on the grill. Okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he just looks like he likes to eat. He's in great shape. He works out all the time. He likes to eat. I think Tiger would love to have someone give him like a meat subscription where you get a different...
Tiger like barbecues like by himself, or do you think he like goes to the restaurant, or you think he?
I think he likes to pop the grill and just go out by the pool and pop the grill with his Birkenstocks on got him. So he's going to slip on his Birkenstocks that you got for him, and he's going to throw a few good pieces of sirloin on the barbecue and season those things up. And he's going to be thinking about Scott McLeod and Jeff Botter from Flagstick.com in Ottawa, Canada, and that gift that we got him.
All right. I like it.
All right.
All right. Let's move on. How about Scotty Scheffler, the Masters champion? Now, Scotty obviously hasn't been around a lot.
No.
Big Texas guy or whatever. But do you want to tackle this one first, or shall I?
No, you can go ahead.
Look, I think Scotty Scheffler, I mean, I don't know the guy, but I think he's kind of this kind of goofy guy who likes to maybe hang out at home and do stuff. I'm thinking I'm just going to get him a set of Archie comics. I think he's the guy who would sit around and laugh and giggle to himself like a 12-year-old. That's just how I picture him. I mean, he's just not a guy that, he's serious in his golf.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's serious in a lot of other things. So I think he's a guy who would, kind of get a kick out of that more than anything.
Now it's funny, and the reason I laughed was not necessarily because of the Archie comics thing. The reason I laughed was because I literally, when thinking of what Scotty Scheffler would be like away from the golf course, I literally was thinking of funny, laughing stuff. So I think I would give Scotty. I think he would be a practical joker. I don't know why, but I would give Scotty Scheffler a book of practical jokes that he could play on people, like a book of practical jokes.
I like it.
So,
because
that's what I think. Like, it's just, I don't know. He looks like a goofy, funny, like I'm gonna.
He's got that Matt Kuchar like effect. Yeah. We know Kuchar likes to give the needle. He likes jokes and stuff like that. I like that. That's a good one. I like it.
Yes. Okay.
All right. We got 5 here. We're gonna go to some our last male player here, Rory McIlroy. What do you give Rory? Here's another guy who's got everything in the world. What would Rory appreciate?
Rory's such a chill guy.
He is.
He just he looks like I was watching a TikTok thing the other day about Keanu Reeves and how everybody thinks Keanu Reeves is just this guy. He takes the bus. He says hi, he takes pictures. He's just a chill guy. Rory to me is the Keanu Reeves of the PGA Tour.
Nice. So the guy from Hollywood, Northern Ireland is much like the guy from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Low key, even though he's got lots of things in the world.
Just totally chill, chill guy. I think Rory, this is a tough one, because what do you give a chill guy, a guy who just is like totally down to earth?
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, you know what? You go ahead.
Okay. I think in that vein, because he likes to be chill, but he's thoughtful, right? When he gets a good question, he kind of bites into it, gives it some thought, and gets it out there. But he's also the guy who's prone to some media members asking him stupid questions. They might be people that are just trying to bait him into some sort of discussion or whatever. I'm going to get him one of those Men in Black zappers that he can basically, when somebody asks him a stupid question, he can just zap them and then move on to the next one. Then they forget what they're thinking about.
Wish those things were actually real.
I know, exactly. But yeah, that would be funny as far as for him. And then he can go on just kind of being, who he is and not have to deal with that crap. Okay.
I am going to get Rory one of those desktop Zen gardens.
Okay,
because he's just Rory's a chill guy.
All right,
and he's just gonna he's gonna come home after a week PGA Tour, he just won another big tournament.
Okay,
gets home, he's gonna kick into the flip-flops and the sport shorts, and he's gonna head into his man cave, whatever. He's gonna sit down. Before he sits down, he's gonna get at his little portable desktop Zen garden. He's going to do some Zen gardening stuff, making some patterns and whatnot. And he's just going to chill.
Big gardener, that Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, and it's not a garden.
I know. I get it.
Zen. It's like Mushu, kind of.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think he's going to zone out.
Fair enough.
Zone right out, or a really good set of headphones or something like that he can listen to some.
Isn't he got an endorsement with Bose?
Yeah, so there you go. I'll get him some. I'll get him some covered already. I'll get him some Sony headphones.
Oh, all right. Yeah, he's probably not allowed to wear them. All right, 2 more here. We're gonna get over to the other side of pro golf. Local girl.
We're really gonna do this one, are we?
We are. What do you get, Brooke Henderson? And be kind. She's a sweet girl.
Oh my God, she's too much of a sweetheart to do this.
Well, hey, go at it. Whatever you like.
Brooke Henderson.
Kid from Smith Falls, who's again got everything in the world, 12 LPGA wins, got 2 major championships, lives down in Florida, obviously comes back as much as she can to Canada, obviously making some more free time for herself now. But, what do you think she'd like and appreciate?
Oh, man.
And she already owns the box set of the Golden Girls, I'm sure of it. So, I mean, that's her favorite show.
That's crazy that would be her.
A few cases of Sprite.
Show, eh?
Yeah.
Likes
Ariba.
I am going to. Gosh.
Take too long. I'm jumping in.
Okay, go ahead and jump in because I got a thought here, and
okay.
I just gotta give it some more thought.
I don't know for certain if she has this already, but I know she has taken up horse riding lessons.
See, it's not fair because you know more about her personally than I do. You could probably literally be her best friend.
No,
it's not fair. But go ahead, take up horseback riding. Okay.
So I would, she's already doing that. I would get her a horse, so she's got her horse of her own. It's maybe sitting on the farm up here in Ontario.
She probably already has a horse, man.
I know, but I don't know that for sure. So I would get her a horse. So and hey, if she's got a horse, then maybe we get her some tack for her horse.
I was gonna say maybe I'll buy her the saddle for the horse or something like that. But that's a little more of a custom thing because you got to have like your butt groove in it, stuff like that. And I don't think Brooke's gonna come down and get a custom fit saddle from me. I want to go the hockey angle on this one.
Ooh.
And okay. I don't think that I'm going to buy her something specifically, but those who know me know that I'm also I'm not a PGA golf instructor like yourself, PGA Canada golf instructor. I'm on the other side of it. I am a hockey instructor. Outside of the golf side of things, I do teach stick handling and puck control.
Total puck control. That. Total puck control.
It's not a shameless plug. I just wanted a hoodie on this morning, so I grabbed it. The fact that the hat matches and you can see behind me there's another hat.
Wink, wink. Yeah.
Well, I got the Red Rooster golf glove back there too. I'm thinking that maybe if I throw that in there as a little shameless plug, that maybe they'll do some marketing with this. Anyway, there you go, Brad. I'm going to send a personal invitation, and I'll even send a plane or a car to pick Brooke up.
You fancy.
And bring her to Winchester, where I have ice every Thursday.
Sure.
And have her participate as a goalie.
Yeah.
In one of my puck control, have my students shoot on her. Like bring her Winchester.
Yeah.
Goalie, deck her out, give her the TPC gear in the net, an opportunity to unwind from the rigors of LPGA stardom.
Yeah.
And put the blades on and participate in one of my stick handling clinics. I don't know. I mean, really, I say I
try to keep her from getting injured, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for Brooke Henderson. I think she's just such a sweetheart, and I want to do something funny with her, but I can't.
But fun.
I
Well, we may have to send that email. You never know if she's home for Christmas time.
Yeah, because I think that's a realistic one too, right?
She
probably has goalie gear still.
Yeah,
bring them both out. Bring them both out. Put them at each end of the ice. Bring Brooke and Brittany out.
Nice, I like it.
Bookend Henderson's 3-on-3
in the net.
Let's go. Brittany, Brooke, you listening? You listening? You watching? Send me an email. We'll make it happen every Thursday. Every Thursday. Okay.
Maybe we'll just send her the email. All right. Last one here. Number 1 player in the world, Lydia Ko. What do you get Lydia Ko? She just got married, or she's getting married. Sorry. She's engaged. Number 1 player in the world. Again, tons of wins, lots of success. What do you get the Kiwi, Lydia Ko?
Yeah, she's. I love Lydia Ko.
Her swing is so good, and she's such a nice person.
Yes.
I could, one of those other people that, not that there's not a lot on the LPGA tour that, I wouldn't spend a lot of time with and just having conversations or whatever.
Yeah. You ever notice that? Like with LPGA,
she surprises me every time. there's an opportunity to kind of be around her. Like some of the things that she's a very interesting person. I don't think people really have that appreciation for her hobbies and things like that. Things that you wouldn't expect.
I'm gonna get her a Zen garden too.
She might appreciate that.
I don't know.
Zen gardens for everyone.
Lydia, yeah, Zen gardens. Maybe I'll get a bulk discount on portable Zen gardens. I'm gonna just ship them out to a whole bunch of people. Zen garden. People getting those gifts going, what the heck is this? And why am I getting it?
Yeah.
You know, because you're chill.
Okay.
Chill. Lydia Cole.
You're stalling.
Of course I'm stalling. Of course I'm stalling. I seem to do better following you than leading you.
Do you want me to lead again for the last time?
Yes.
Okay.
What'd you think was going to happen? This was your topic.
I know. So, Lydia's mentioned lots of hobbies and things over the years. She was into rock climbing. She was into reading. I hear that she's getting into cooking a fair bit now. Likes to, cook and so forth. So I'd get her a really nice set of knives. Super essential, basics as far as the kitchen. Good knife set.
I can't compete with this. Even if I come back with something now, it's going to seem like I'm just...
Well, you just got to do your homework.
Piling on. Do my homework. I think there's a little more in-depth knowledge required than just homework on this one.
Oh, boy.
Lydia Cole. Wow. Gosh. I am like... I'm really at a loss with this. Okay. I am going to get Lydia Cole a really comfortable pair of slippers.
Okay.
I think that for someone that works as hard on their game as she does, spends a lot of time on the road, a lot of time in hotels. When she gets home, see the husband, she just wants to get in the house, kick off the golf shoes, and put on
nice pair of slippers.
A nice some sleepwear, a robe, and a nice comfortable pair of slippers. All right, that's what I think. Slippers.
Right. Well, there we go. That's our our golf gift game for golf pros. Our holiday gift guide. Things that we would give some of the 5 best golfers in the world.
Wow,
you did okay. You survived. So why don't we start talking about some holiday golf gifts for everyone else?
Yes, and I think we'll make this. We'll kind of like copy and paste this into the script for the next couple of episodes, because I think we're not even going to come close to scratching the surface of gift ideas and things. Different things pop up all the time. Like I was doing some research at different novelty golf gifts that are out there now, because they're not the ones that are mainstream when you think about golf. And I was looking at like the little mat that goes in front of the toilet where you can practice. Like, who actually owns one of these things?
I know,
like, seriously.
Our buddy Kenny Thompson, someone gave him one.
And did he use it?
That might have been Michelle and I gave it to him the one year. That was years ago.
What did he do with it? Did he put it in a box? They leave it in the box in the closet?
I think for a while it was sitting at Accra Golf, True Temper North. I think he was sitting there as a joke. So yeah, those are just, again, those are novelty things, and they last. The laugh is what it's about.
Yes.
For 10 seconds, but as a useful gift, it's not.
That's why they're usually like $10.
Yeah, not that one.
No, that one would have been a little bit more expensive than $10. Anyway, all right.
Anyhow.
So one of the things that obviously you can do, anybody should know this is common sense, but if you're trying to pick a gift, a golf gift for someone on your list, it's a golfer. Go sneak a peek, look at their golf bag, see what's in there.
And we should say, if you're listening to this, you're probably a golfer. Yes. So what you want to do is you want to share this video or share this podcast with your significant other or anyone who's planning to buy you a gift. That's the big secret right here.
Yes. Share this podcast.
You got it.
Share it.
Right. But like you said, if you're the person that's giving a gift, if you want to start and find out,
go check out the golf bag.
Exactly.
That'll tell you a lot of things, because you'll see what kind of golf glove they like,
what size
how worn the one that's in there probably is, and that they probably, generally speaking, I'm be totally honest with you, this time of year, if you're looking for a golf gift for somebody, something to stick in a stocking that's practical,
Yeah.
chances are they need a new golf glove.
Yeah, exactly. So if you look
Chances
in that
are,
bag, you're
yeah,
going to see some sizing, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Chances are they probably need more golf tees to start the year off. There's chances are they need a new towel. There are things like that.
The basics.
This is the time of year where a lot of that stuff is all worn and dirty and ragged and torn and tattered.
I agree.
Probably needs to be replaced. So it's a good place to start.
Yeah. And if you're looking in that bag as well, one of the things that you're going to see possibly, if they're consistent with it, you're going to see the brand and model of golf ball they like to play. Now, it's a bit of a stereotype, giving people golf balls for holiday stuff or whatever. But I'll tell you what, golf balls are not cheap. So
no, and you still have time right now if you want custom ones, because there's still you can still order custom ones and have them in before Christmas. Yeah. So that's kind of where you would be looking at from a golf ball perspective. You can see what brand and what model and so on there is in their golf bag that they play, and maybe have something custom made with a cool little icon that's unique to them, or their initials, or their nickname, or your kids' initials.
Just the only thing I would say, avoid putting their actual name on there.
Yes.
Most golfers don't want to be embarrassed for the fact that their golf ball gets found, whether they put it there or not, because it could have been the subsequent other person who found it.
It doesn't matter.
Strange place all over the place. But I like the idea of a logo or an icon, maybe something, a favorite team.
Yeah, like a clover or a heart or something, like whatever. I mean, you can get just about anything you want on custom golf balls now.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
And there's lots of places that offer them and do them. Obviously, we talked about Lee Tambron, a Canadian Pro Shop Online, who's a big supporter of this podcast as well. And
multiple brands also have some different stock things as well that are easier to order this time of year.
Yes.
Be it hockey teams, basketball teams, stuff like that. So you might not have to go custom, but at least something that's unique and not just a standard golf ball or just a plain old white golf ball, for sure.
100%. So little things like those are kind of like your $50
sub-50s, around 50.
Alignment rods, we talked about that before. Alignment rods or cases for alignment rods, the sleeves, it's because some alignment rods they come in plastic containers at the store. You can buy leather or synthetic leather sleeves that are
covers,
kind of cool looking ideas. A lot of the Barstool Sports and Gong Show and even the major manufacturers have them available on their websites. There's lots of places you can get this stuff. Those are the kinds of things that are really kind of unique and cool and not overly expensive. But clearly you can get into some of the more costly gifts, whether you're looking at a training aids,
right?
There's tons and tons of them out there. Some of them are absolute garbage. And I wouldn't, this is why we're not mentioning brands in particular, because we're not that kind of podcast. There's tons of them out there that are amazing. Great training aids, whether they're putter alignment tools, like you said, with alignment rods for practicing. But there's some out there that, you might want to stay away from just because they're a little bit too gimmicky.
Yeah, or they're a little too specific, and that's
complex.
One of the things. Yeah, well, you get into something that doesn't actually apply to the golfer. Like if all of a sudden somebody is trying to sell you something and said, "Oh no, every golfer needs this," maybe they don't necessarily need that, or it's not something they're working on with their coach. Now, here's an opportunity. If your spouse, partner, or the gift recipient person, and their golf coach, reach out to their coach and see what they're kind of working on. They may be able to give you some ideas of, hey, we've been working on this. Alignment rod's obviously a big thing that's in there, but maybe there's a particular trainer or a putting mat or a certain putting tool or something that they would encourage them to use in their practice routines that might be suitable for them, that maybe they haven't bought for themselves. Maybe they just look at it and go, maybe it's a purchase I won't make because maybe it's a little too much money or whatever. But so reach out to their coach if you know their coach, and they may be able to provide some suggestions of handy items that would be useful to them in their training, and obviously they're going to appreciate that.
Oh, there you go. Do you want to keep going on that? Do you want to just hold some off for?
Why don't we hold off? We've got a
Yeah.
lot of different things that are in there, but I will say that, this time of year, obviously a lot of people working indoors. Not everybody has a simulator space or whatever, but things that are around putting are certainly very popular. Putting mats, certainly very popular. Different type of trainers, items that you can putt and they'll kick the ball back to you. And I don't mean the gimmicky ones. There are, we'll call like putt out pressure trainers, things like that. Some great mats and stuff that are out there. Well Putt, Raflowski's got some, Putt Out's got some great mats, Perfect Practice. These are various different ones. Training tools are really great this time of year as far as putting is concerned, and it'll encourage the golfer to play more. And hey, you know what? Maybe you want that golfer out of your hair. They can sit there and take off someplace and work and practice that and kind of be out of your hair. So yeah, we'll leave it for that this week, and then we'll add some more in the next few shows.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, let's we've got about 10 minutes left here, so let's get quickly into Product Watch, which is brought to you by Greensmere Golf and Country Club. Elevate your game at Greensmere. Choose between two great 18-hole championship courses, distinctively different, definitely challenging. Visit greensmere.com for more information. Product Watch, the new Jordan ADG4s.
You got it.
Cool looking shoe.
Yeah,
really
like
cool
that,
looking shoe. Very stylish looking shoe. I love just the detail on this. So why don't you tell us a little bit condensed about these and
So I had a look at these shoes kind of earlier this year. A lot of people, when they think about Jordan shoes from Nike, they usually think of the, sort of the basketball style shoes that have basically been accented with, golf to go with them. This is not that. This is more of a classic silhouette shoe. This is a shoe that was actually requested by Michael Jordan himself from the brand to make. Very sleek, full grain leather upper, look like a classic shoe. Come in 3 colorways here in Canada. Has a nice rubber sole with integrated traction, so you can wear them on the course or off the course. They do look pretty slick that way. Very lightweight, durable foam. Still has that nice touch of the the elephant print logo that people are used to. That Jordan logo appears on the heel. You can see it on the insole as well, but it's not so obvious that if you went up to some country club or something like that people are like, ooh, they're super slick that way. I like the gray, the cement gray model. There's some nice colorways here, but just a sleek classic silhouette shoe. And they remind me of another model Nike made back in the day called the Clayton model, which I remember those. I love those. Unfortunately, I remember the sample pair I got were slightly too small, so they hurt my feet, but I love the shoe. But I'm definitely eyeing these ones up.
They're nice.
They're really solid.
I like the fact that they Nike makes great shoes. There's no question about that. But I like the fact that they're not splashing the swoosh all over me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like they're
Jordan. They don't do that with the Jordan brand, right?
No, but I know. Yeah, but I mean, it's very subtle. Like even the Jordan, Dunk logo on the heel is just, it's very, the logo's toned down. The color is a little softer. It doesn't scream Nike Air Jordans to me. It screams cool looking golf shoe made by Nike. I just love that. It's just so stylish and classic looking.
Yeah, and you can definitely wear them. Like I said, you can wear them on or off the golf course, and nobody would really kind of notice. But they're certainly distinctive enough that if people see you with them on, they're probably go, "Hey, what are those shoes?" Because they're just not very common. So nice shoe there as far as the ADG4 from Jordan. Good stuff. So look for those.
All right. Well, another great episode. You're heading out shortly. As we're recording this podcast, you're heading out to do some product testing up in TO.
You got it.
And we'll have some wrap up next week to what you saw. And we'll leave it at that. Leave people guessing, thinking, what is he going to do?
Yeah, there's some products that I will be able to talk about and some that I won't. So some are out already, but at least I can give you some feedback on what they feel like and how they perform. And some other stuff I'll have to leave to future dates because I'm under an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and I
love the NDA.
Talk about them. Yeah,
exactly. Gag order. All right, great show, Scott.
Thank you. You too.
Want to thank all our sponsors. Metcalf Golf Club, Golf Sim Gurus, Greensmere Golf and Country Club, Kevin Haime Golf School, and of course our presenting sponsor this week is Rixon Golf Canada. Whether you're looking for a premium urethane option in the Z-Star series, a quality budget option in the soft feel, or somewhere in between with the Q-Star Tour, Srixon Golf is bound to present an option that will work for your game. For more information, visit srixon.ca. Glad you're tuning in to us. Be sure to follow us across all social media networks, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Subscribe to us on Spotify, Audible, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. Do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like us, click the notification bell, and make sure you never miss a single episode, because that would be bad. Get over to flagstick.com. Always great content posted up there every single day, sometimes multiple times each day. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. Until next week, I'm Jeff Botter.
I'm Scott McLeod.
Always remember, go for the stick.